even top-notch musicians sometimes want to use a substitute for a click track. You want to use, at that point, not a metronome, not a click track that obnoxious, ding, ding, ding. Oh my God, forget about that. Use a good drum machine, right? Or a sequencer. That's basically what a drum machine is anyway, just limited, the sequences are limited to percussion and drum sounds, right? So use a good drum machine or sequencer on a keyboard and put down like a scaffolding for what you're going to play. And this applies not just to complicated rhythms. This applies to anything. If you want, you can have a simple whatever it is that you're putting down. If it's more complicated, say bass drum, say 9/8. Bass drum on 1, then divide it at 5 with a snare, then hit a little splash cymbal on 9. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Fine. Minimum. That's like, from that, it's better than a click track because you don't feel this artificial square thing, you know? And you can add more. You could have a drum machine or a sequencer that has other sounds that fills in here and there in strategic places to cue you as to where you're at. And the percussion can get very intricate, and a lot of it can be happening, or it could just be very sparse. Meanwhile, it doesn't mean that you don't have to have a drummer. Your drummer can play over it, especially when you have just very sparse, then your drummer can bounce off of that. Now, once you've recorded a certain amount of the parts, you can either get rid of the sequence part altogether, but now you've got recorded what you want that you played, and now that becomes a record that's spot on. It's recorded. No matter how much you deviated from, you know, you're ahead of the one, you're on the one, you're behind the one, you lagged it and tugged on it and slowed it down and then sped it up. But, you know, and it sounds great because whatever you did with your sequencer kept you honest and kept you with your rhythmic motif. And then you either keep that plus add to it or you just get rid of the sequence part. Meanwhile, what you got left is your playing. And now you're listening to, playing along with yourself and doing your own original thing with this actual real-time, organic, metronome or click track, which is the actual recording, right? So this way it sounds like real music and not like some, you know, this click that's just constantly grabbing your attention and throwing you off musically. Plus, it's irritating to the ear usually because that attack is just, you know, you actually have something beautiful that you can play along with and keep along with your song or just edit it. Meanwhile, when you're done with that, you can make like 1 or 2 copies. One where whatever instrument player, the bass player, drummer, the guitarist, the keyboardist, the singer, they want to hear that more prominently, even though the final master mix, they might be quieter in certain parts or up louder in others. You might want to just up the sound completely for that one specific copy for them to listen to and sing along with to get just exactly what they did before in the recording that they really wanted, right? And then you can make them a second copy that has that either completely deleted or really, really quiet, really faint, so they can really hear themselves, and if they feel like improvising on it and changing it a little bit or whatever, they can practice that. So there you have it. Get rid of that freaking click track. Those things are so obnoxious, and I often can go like, yeah, that song sounds like they were playing with a click track, inhibiting them, right? It's obnoxious. Get rid of that. And replace it with something that's even better because you can tailor it to whatever lag you want, and whatever rhythmic motif you want, and it's going to be steady because it's a sequencer, it's the machine doing it, right? And on top of that, you can then be right on spot if you want, or lag behind, or if you accidentally did something or another, and later you go like, whoa, I like that though. You can keep it. Right? So anyway, that's my advice. Bye-bye Click Track. Have a good one. We'll see you next video.